attention to detail.
There we go.
Now?
Yeah, it's better.
Jack Ryan?
Let's do it.
Shadow recruit Chris Pine this time.
Another reboot. Yeah, we've seen this role being played by Alec Baldwin in Hunt for October, Harrison Ford, and Ben Affleck. But now Chris Pine tries his hand at CIA analyst turned spy Jack Ryan, shadow recruit.
This is quarterback. I have a situation. Somebody tried to kill me.
Jack, is work okay?
Yeah. You know, you sold us.
There you go.
Well, the action sequences look tight, but how do you make a movie like this original when the character's been done time and time again?
They actually do a fantastic job of rebooting the character here. Chris Pine, very believable in the role. Kevin Costner is solid as that mentor character. Keira Knightley is really good as his wife. And Kenneth Branagh, who directs this film, is a really solid villain. He's this Russian tycoon, and he oozes evil in this role. So I found it very fresh. There were a lot of sequences that really worked for me, particularly this one dinner scene where they have to sort of have dinner with Branagh, and then Chris Pine has to pretend like he's getting in a fight with his wife, and then goes to try and sneak into his office. That's all I'll say about that sequence. But Riaz, you mentioned the action looking tight. The action was the one weak point of this movie. It was like done in this really bad Paul Greengrass Bourne style that I found really frantic, and I couldn't follow it. So the rest of the movie really works, and it's a very tight film. They managed to tell his origin story in a really nice package at the beginning of like the first half hour, 40 minutes of this movie. And then when it goes into the action scenes, I was completely out of it.
So story wins out over action on this, and having Branagh as the villain and director of the film, do you think it's too ambitious, or does he nail it in the villain role?
I think he nails it because he's such a good thespian, and he plays this Russian villain very well, so I thought that was effective. But they did need some work on the action. I felt like it was a completely different director handling it, which may have been the case, so, you know, often with second unit directors taking on the action. So for me, those essential parts, because these kind of movies, you want those great gripping action scenes, those were the ones that fell flat for me, so that's a big flaw in the film.
How many hammers for Jack Ryan?
3 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still worth your box office dollar, though.
Okay, different genre altogether, animated flick. Frozen did very well at the box office. Now we've got The Nut Job.
The Nut Job. And this is as mediocre as the title suggests. Unfortunately, you've got a really unlikable central character voiced by Will Arnett as this squirrel who gets banished from his park to the city, and then he kind of comes up with this scheme to get back in and help you know, the rest of the animals survive the winter by gathering all these nuts. If you see the animation, obviously it's stunning, right? And there was a lot of interesting scenes visually, but the writing and the depth of the story were really weak for me. And I found that all the voice actors in the film, I mean, it's got A-listers with Liam Neeson, Katherine Heigl, Will Arnett, and the likes. I just felt like they were cashing in on a paycheck. Katherine Heigl, I'm surprised. She can't even bring an animated squirrel to life. Ooh. And there were a lot of pop culture tropes, like you see that cardinal in the background. It's a total ripoff of Angry Birds. They have the typical Gangnam-style sequence and the old cops in the donut shop gag. So I felt the adults that get dragged to see this movie are going to be rolling their eyes or bored out of their minds. I'm not sure which kind of audience this caters to, because frankly, every character was very unlikable. The only good character in the film is this little pug voiced by Maya Rudolph. She was the only one that I felt was really believable. Other than that, I just felt like I was listening to these Hollywood actors, you know, in a recording booth.
How many hammers?
2 out of 5 for The Nut Job.
Okay, so Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Looks like the front runner this
There you
weekend. All right, Thor, thanks for that.